Okay, hi everyone. Yep, we're live again. Pete and I are just having a really sweet discussion here, actually, around the theme that you were feeling. And before we started the live, because Pete's going to do the movie gathering tomorrow, and the theme is activated by spirit, and I was all in the Holy Spirit activate. And then right before we came on live, Pete said, I'm feeling a little quiet. Oh, okay. Let's see what this Holy Spirit activation is. Like how does it work to feel activated by the Holy Spirit? And we were just exploring it for ourselves, I feel, and it got really interesting just to look at all the thoughts and what is it to be really activated by the Spirit. I don't know if you immediately have some thoughts.
Yeah, well, I don't know. I think there's like this perception, even that, to be like enthusiastic or we have to be like really gung ho, that kind of feeling of like, yeah. And, that this, and then I don't know, I'm just kind of like feeling like it can be so soft and subtle. Like, like we all have some kind of gift is what I'm kind of getting in touch with. And there's a gift where we just really need to be willing to show up in our willingness and let the Spirit use that gift that we have. And it's not needing to push through something or to like establish something ourselves, but it's really just like the saying yes to like, well, like I think once we've kind of like made a prayer, like, when we've made a prayer, like I want healing, and then we seem to draw forth mighty companions. And then it can seem to be sometimes that, it doesn't feel like, or it doesn't look like what I think it should look like. The ego is so quick to judge like the situation of like, we've had conversations this week with the ones here about like, there can be this desire to I just want to like rest and meditate and feel that presence of God and be in that presence. And then it seems to be like when we call forth these relationships, that can seem to be difficult. Like, how do I apply that in the present moment where things seem to be so counter, or there seems to be like a fast pace? And how do I stay in that presence? But I don't know. I'm kind of like, I was kind of like getting in touch with even like this movie that we're going to play tomorrow, but like where there's these other motives in the mind where we kind of still feel like there's something that I need to prove myself or I need to make it, or and it's all coming from a sense of like what I have right now isn't good enough.
And who I am
Yeah,
right now.
who I am, like that I'm, yeah, like getting in touch with that worthiness that's right there. But we're so used to like in the world, like needing to achieve and go, and it's always like a future goal. Like the ego is always putting it in the future. And then there's just something so simple, but like the ego can't even recognize it, that when we've called forth this prayer of like, I want to open up to the love of who I am, the ones who are showing up in front of us, and even like the challenges that seem to come up, where it's like, I don't know how this feels, but it's kind of like recognizing the ones who are in front of me, and whatever's coming up right now is all coming up for me to step into my worthiness, or to recognize that I'm loved. Like,
yeah, I was just thinking about that part. We talked about it last night. We previewed the movie for tomorrow together last night, and this thought, when you're sharing right now, it's like you come into the world without a self. That's how it seems to be. You come into the world without, and then you keep building this self, but you never stop to question what is it for and why. Like, what's the real purpose of it? And it's almost like until you hit up against something that is not supporting your self-concept, like you say, like relate the spirit, once you have a calling to wake up and spiritual awakening, you will be given relationships that it feels like you're rubbing against
yeah,
people or whatever, like, or different beliefs or structures or things that I feel like can feel very uncomfortable on the spiritual journey. But it's only uncomfortable because there is a self-concept. And as long as there's still an investment in that self-concept and wanting to keep building and building and building for this worth that we feel like we don't have inherently, which it is there. We're told by Jesus, your worth is established by God. It doesn't come from what you say or do or think even. So it's like, I could really feel that when we watched that movie last night, and even for myself too, like more and more. Actually, I had a really beautiful, I didn't tell you this yet, but I had a really beautiful, we went on a little haircut outing yesterday, a couple of friends, and I talked with Dini about how I used to feel so like confident, like like I felt like I was pretty sure of myself, and then it's like knowing that that was actually a mask, but still, like as if it worked. It was as if it worked in the world. And then when that slowly gets when that starts to crumble, like the ego will say, oh, something's going wrong, turn around. Because I'm not so sure anymore of things. Or even when I start to feel like I'm not so sure of what I feel anymore. But it's, and then Dini said so beautiful, that's, I don't know, like it's the right direction. Like that fake self-esteem is actually crumbling. So you get in touch with what's real underneath it. But first, there's all these layers seemingly you have to go through, and just facing this belief in unworthiness that's underneath, that's covered over by these layers. And then we were talking about being activated by the Spirit. It's like, activated, what is that really? Because it has to be something that's really given by the Spirit for me. And anything that's not given by the Spirit is still part of a self-concept. Just to put it really black and white in that way, it's still me trying to hold on to things. Or
it's even like just feeling like this week, there's such a temptation to just even do things that feel comforting in the moment, and seem to might even give like a little pat on the back, like, oh, just little things that are done for a self-image. Like I can see like how I can look into tech things and like, oh, this could be a handy thing for everyone to know, or this, like, and I kind of feel like, but it can be so surfacey and like, oh, I just want to give something, but I can kind of feel like where it's hanging out in an old self-image, even of like Peter as the tech guy, or Peter as the design guy, or he's artsy, or like there's a self-concept that got a pat on the back for each time it kind of stepped forth. But there's something new, like it kind of feels like there's a new gift, like Spirit. This is the great thing in the movie last night, because the main character, he's really going to be he's tried to make it in the world, but he wants that kind of pat on the back to say like, yeah, you achieved something, you did something good. But it's kind of like ignoring, like there's such a fear actually to step into our true heart, or our true worth, and be seen, actually be seen for our true kind of gift and what it is we have to offer. And these kind of like this past week too, I found like it's been sometimes like counterintuitive, but I have to like stop myself at times and go like, okay, get up from the computer, step outside, or call that person, like call someone I have in my mind, where it kind of feels like, maybe it feels like something a bit uncomfortable or new, or something that feels like, oh, okay, maybe even feels like a chore at the time, like the things that the Spirit has given us, until we actually take a first step. And I know some of these like connections I've had in the past week, I'll go like, there's something like I've had in my mind, oh yeah, I should do that, or I should get that done. But it can be such a delay in the mind as well. But when I actually step into that connection, I know I come and see you afterwards, and I'll be like dancing in the kitchen or whatever it is. And you're like, oh my God, you're alive now. What happened?
Yeah, it's beautiful. It's like the Spirit, there's always something there that the Spirit will give us, like a communication, or it's a lot of communication, actually. Like I really feel everything turns into communication, and it is that, like when we start to step into that or towards that that is when I know that for myself with the music, for example, like years ago when we started doing music and we formed our band Rise, I would so much unworthiness to be part of it or sing at all. And it was like, I am not going there. I'm not singing outside of the car or the shower. Like anybody could hear me. It's just like an example. Like, but stepping towards it, it brought up a lot of fear and it brought up a lot of unworthiness for me. And I've had so many tears and expressions over the years with joining with the band and sharing what I would feel for the songs and really staying with what I felt in my heart. It's been an ongoing, I feel like, practice actually to stay with what I truly feel and see where I want to hide or like say, oh no, I'm less than him or her, whatever it is. And I can just see, but that's how the Spirit does use it. He uses the things that we already love. He uses the things that we're already having a gift. Like we might be aware of the gift, we might not be aware of the gift, but he will use those things. Sometimes we get these completely different downloads, like, I mean, you had a drumming gift. You didn't even know that. And I was like, whoop, download, and you started drumming. But a lot of it is being used that we already have. So we don't even have to change. We don't have to become a new person or acquire a ton of new skills. It's just he's going to use the things that we love, that we may have pushed down out of unworthiness. And then the more and more we step towards it, the fear comes up. But it's a good thing. Nothing is going wrong when it feels like, the emotions going up and I feel more insecure. I feel a bit more shaky. Like that's actually what happens with the character in the movie. You'll see. He's really shaky when it gets brought up, but actually his passion is, it's like the fear gets so high he wants to run away. So it's like, but it's a good thing actually. So everything is upside down in this world with the ego and the Holy Spirit. It's like completely different perspectives. But
and the good thing about even the movie too, and this thing of like these natural spirit given abilities or how the spirit can use these abilities. There's such a theme of like relationships even in this movie last night, and it's been up to in the we've been talking about it a lot this weekend, the past week, about love relationships.
Find your love relationships, your love connections.
Because like I don't know, it's kind of beautiful that that's actually been more the focus this week, even beyond any of the doings, because we can get so caught up. It's not actually about the doings, but it is something about opening up to the love relationships. And it's different from like, the ego special love relationships where it's very kind of contained and, doesn't let anybody else into that. But these are more like these expansive love relationships where there's something about like we're extending out beyond what we thought was possible before. And, just being available for that, whether it's talking to someone on the street or like someone who the spirit's guiding you to connect with, but suddenly something comes through us, a care or a lovingness, and we feel like it's like moving towards a genuine sense or feeling of kind of connection and opening up to this love. Like that's all it's been given for. And then like when we do that too, there's this permission or like it's like we're like turning on a light, and then that kind of gets, like everyone else can be a witness to that. And then there's a beautiful scene in the movie that's going to be showing like how when we're stepping into the light, that gives this allowance, like everyone else kind of relaxes in that as well, and these words can just come out naturally out of the mouth. It's kind of like everyone's been given this allowance to step into these true love relationships.
It's beautiful. It's like you relax and then words come through. It's like, did I just say that? But it's involuntary, and then it's the spirit behind it actually. That's beautiful.
I don't know, it feels really kind of, I don't know, but it feels like there's something very subtle or gentle about the movie I'm going to show tomorrow. And it's like getting in touch with something that's quiet, that's maybe been overlooked by the raucous kind of ego that's been trying to manage everything, control everything. But it's like getting back in touch with this soft, gentle calling, and how much resistance we can have to go in that direction. And we can kind of like actively, why are you like put it on others? Why are you pushing me in this direction when we've actually called for something? And there's just like this invitation to step into this gift that we have. Yeah. Our gifts need to be shared. Yeah.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
I feel it. It's like a quiet, serene feeling throughout the whole experience in the movie, and the loudness of the ego wants to kind of cover that over. But I think I'm looking forward to so it just felt really sweet to share this with you all, and it's a warm invitation to join us tomorrow. And it's just a beautiful prayer in the heart, actually. Like, what is the real activation from the spirit, and what is still ego driven in my mind? Even if it's subtle, like that can just be the prayer. Like, Holy Spirit, show me. What is it that you really... Because the ego comes with so many complexities and so many add-ons, and the spirit is simple. Like, it's simple, and whatever we're meant to be doing or going towards is always right here. We don't have to strive. But I think it's going to be great. It's beautiful.
It's very like sweet. It's going to be a sweet kind of soft movie, and I think just an opportunity to get in touch with that, the small still voice, but the depth of the love in the heart that's calling us. Like, what is behind everything we do? Why do we do any of this? It's actually to open up to a greater love in the heart. Yeah. Sweet. Okay, well, maybe we'll see you tomorrow. Have a beautiful day, and rest in the spirit, and just feel like joined in that prayer, actually. Holy Spirit, show me what is it for me, and just gently guide me towards your love. And thank you. Thank you. Sweet. Okay, thank you, everyone. Have a beautiful day.